Okay, China Gang, we're going to get right into it. Today, I'm going to be doing a bomb makeover, and you heard me. I'm going to be doing a bomb makeover. It's inspired by Anthony Cuts, which you guys probably already know. If you don't know, he is also a hairstylist and makeup artist, and he does all these kind of makeover videos. So as you can see, the client that I have, I'm just prepping her hair using coconut oil that's inside of a little tube in the back, and I'm just prepping her hair, getting her hair moist and, you know, ready to be braided up, so that once she has her hair braided up, at least it's moisturized and it prevents from any breaking or your hair itching as much as possible. So I'm going to be using my Simply China hair company with Maven, and as you guys probably already know, I have a partnership with Maven and I sell hair with them. And one thing I can say is the hair is bomb, which you're going to see in this video. But my client bought a lace frontal with 2 bundles. I believe it was a loose wave or body wave, one of the two. And basically, like, this hair is like untouchable, as you guys are going to see. It's amazing. You cannot help but love it. I'm going to braid my client's hair back. This is also kind of her first full install of a frontal and like with bundles and things like that. So I tried to get the braiding method as comfortable or as common to what she does on a day-to-day. So that's why I braided it back. But I have different braiding methods, so depending on the client, I'll change it up. You're gonna make sure that you take your thread and your needle and just stitch in that little piece that you leave out. So I did a zigzag in the back. I'm so sorry, you guys, I did not take a picture to show you guys, but I did like more of like a heartbeat kind of symbol in the back, where I take one braid and move it over and braid in, so I don't have like a lot of braids just falling in the back, because that's just really sad. And I'm going to take a nude stocking cap with the Got2b glue and the Pro Glue to kind of get that frontal down. And as you can see, I'm going to start cleaning up my client's forehead with the baby wipe. You can use whatever wipe you have, but I just use the baby wipe. And you're going to make sure that you apply whatever products you have without touching it. As you can see, I'm using the comb. The reason why I'm using the comb is because your fingers contain oil, and you do not want the oil to rub off and not properly dry the product. So I mixed the 2 glues, as you can see, and now I'm blow drying it on cool setting. And I'm just going to keep applying that with my comb, and I'm just going to keep blowing it out. And as you can see, the nude stocking cap that I have on her head, I'm going to pull it forward and start pressing that in with the glue and cutting off that little annoying front part. I don't even know what you call it, but it's super annoying because when you put your wigs on, that's like basically the first thing you see if you don't cut it off. So cut that off, and I'm just going to keep applying a little bit more glue. As you can see, I'm doing it on a cool setting and just pressing down the sides. Now it's time for the frontal, honey. So as you can see, I'm going to have my client hold the 2 sides, and I'm kind of just, you know, sectioning it where I want. So this is a trick. I always start my frontals a little bit up, because when I start stitching it, I pull back. Like, that's just naturally me. So as you can see, I'm showing you here like how I pull back. So I start stitching and pulling the frontal back, and I'm just doing a simple stitching method where I put the needle through the thread. And you can see, I'm not really good at explaining this, but you can see how I'm pulling it and stitching it at the same time. Now it's time to cut off that frontal, and this is also another reason why I make sure that I started a little bit further up, because the frontal, once you cut that off, you realize how much further back it really is. So all you have to do now is just glue down the frontal, and once you glue down the frontal, you're almost ready to go. You're just going to make sure you put it on a cool setting, and like I said, you're going to make sure you do not touch the frontal, the glue. Like, you're trying your hardest not to touch it, because you do not want any oils from your fingers to get on the glue. You want it to dry, and you want it to stay on your client's head as long as possible. So definitely try to minimize the touching. Just use your comb. And as you can see further up, this is without us plucking it. This is actually a pretty good close-up of it, but I'm going to be creating baby hair. She likes her baby's hair a certain way, so I'm just going to create it and make it look a little bit more, even more realistic for her liking. Now I'm taking some mousse and I'm just going to take a paddle brush and start creating some baby hairs. It's really not that hard. I have like a little scissor, a manicure scissor is what I guess you would call it, and I just cut and layer the baby hairs. You just play with it until you find your rhythm. I don't really have a method to it. The methods that I do have, I would probably have to break it down in another video, but as you can see, it's self-explanatory, and you just keep creating that shape until you get what you like, or till you get what the client likes, and then you just apply the gel or edge control of your choice, and that's basically it. Now we ended up plucking out more in the end, which you're gonna see, but this is just to kind of get an idea. That was the whole purpose of me doing this, to kind of get an idea of what, you know, it would look like, and I even started cutting more, as you can already see, but what it would basically look like with the baby hairs and things like that. And the more we cut and the more we even pluck, it got better. So I jumped to stitching in some tracks. The same concept of stitching in the frontal is how I basically stitch in the tracks, except for I do a double knot instead of one knot. And this just helps with a lot of clients that like to wash their bundles. You know, it keeps it a little bit more snagged and stern, so nobody cannot snatch your baby. Like, you cannot. And as you can see, now I'm blowing and pressing it. I blew it out prior, but I'm pressing it out now. And the look that I'm going for this client, she wants an extreme natural look. As you can see in the beginning of the video, her hair is very thick and she's very used to a lot of blowout kind of concepts. So instead of me blowing it out, I'm so sorry you guys, but instead of me blowing it out, I straightened it to that kind of blowout setting, and it definitely, as you can see, is giving it that volume, which I love. And I'm just doing it section by section, brushing out the tips and working my way up. And I'm using a paddle brush to actually press it out. I had a press brush, but I do not know where it is, so I ended up just using a regular bristled paddle brush. And as you can see, it's really not that hard if you do it section by section. So now the trick is, once you start getting closer to the front, you want to make sure you get as close, and I mean as close, to pressing out the roots at least once, or at least twice. I should say at least twice or 3 times. So I'm trying to show you guys here how I do it. I take the brush, I put the brush underneath or on top, and then take the press iron and pull it. So it's similar to if you were taking a blow dryer with a blowout brush and you're blowing out the hair and you're kind of pulling it out, but instead of having that circle brush, you're actually using a bristle brush and you're using a flat iron. So that's kind of the method. And as you can see, to the pieces that are blown out, you can see how natural it looks, how full the hair looks. And like I said, this is only 2 bundles. We use 2 bundles and a frontal, so to get that kind of body is just crazy, you guys. I also dyed the hair myself. I did everything as far as dyeing and everything myself. So if you want me to do a video on how I get this very natural kind of ombre look, just let me know in the description bar below. We're getting closer to the front, and she kind of didn't want it where it was too defined. She just wanted it where it was like a little bit flipped over, so I didn't bother plucking out a more in-depth scalp, I should say, for that side, because I always do that no matter how nice the frontal is. Like, for the most part, I always end up like plucking it, because I don't know, I just like a really deep cut. Like, that's just me. But she just wanted it a little bit more to the side and kind of natural and that's kind of what I did. So I'm just going over one more time with the flat iron and making sure that all the side pieces are definitely straightened out. So as you can see, this process is kind of self-explanatory. I feel like it's a little bit, I feel like this was the easier part, which is styling. I take a little bit of gel, and as you can see, I put like a little curl or wave in the front just to add definition to that side. And I only did it to that piece. And then she doesn't really want a lot of makeup. She was actually getting ready to go to bed. She just came off of a flight, so this was just to kind of get her prepped for the photo. And I just put a little bit of concealer to kind of wake up those eyes, and as you can see, that definitely woke her up a lot. I just filled in her brows just slightly. This is kind of with the foundation. She has no foundation on, so this is just how I get like a foundation, no foundation look, by the way. And then I'm just filling in her brows with a dark brown gel that I have in my kit, and I'm just using some nice blending powder that I have. I believe it's from Revlon, and I'm going to then put in some blue eyeshadow. She really likes blue, and then I'm going to have a white eyeshadow in the tear dub, so that kind of makes the eyes pop out a lot more. And this is just a simple look. I put a little bit of Revlon mascara just to kind of make the eye look pop, since she didn't really want any falsies. And this is just a very natural glam look. So if you're trying to go out, you want to go on a date, you know, that's it. And she added on a little bit of red lips, or it was more of a coral lip gloss. And that's it, you guys. As you can see, the final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to thumbs up. You're going to be seeing many more makeovers of Simply China. If you would like to get your own Simply China makeover, please email me and let me know. I'm looking out for all you guys' emails, and I cannot wait. So thank you.